also spent significant time in the theater, which was really, really interesting to me. Richard here was I pretty much shadowed him most of the time that I was there. And so he showed me around. By the time I was halfway through, I would go with him and set up the instruments. By the time I was about to leave, I would just be in there by myself setting up the instruments for the surgery and getting everything ready because they were so busy elsewhere. But I got to see so many babies born, C-section, just a variety of surgeries. And that's cool because it's actually quite similar. The procedure for the surgeries are quite similar there as they are in the U.S. They're very sterile. That kind of was different to me because most of the hospital was like you would see people lying on the floor. It was very dirty, but in the theater it was very clean. Then I just had to throw in a picture of the canteen because this is where I would eat every day. I would eat banku and okra stew, which was my favorite meal, with the nurses there. And Auntie Belinda is the one that would make my meals every day, so I pretty much recommend. So halfway through my trip, Dr. Valadares came as my faculty mentor, and we went around to different places talking to students about studying in the U.S. or studying, or just like to encourage them to continue their education. So here at the bottom, we just talked to the students who wanted to study abroad and told them about the U.S. and about USI and what the process is. And then we went to the Royal Land Health Academy, which there's all the many nursing students in the top left that we spoke to. And Mr. Obwaji had invited us, and we were the first Americans to be at that facility as well. And it was quite an honor. They treated us like kings, and they sang to us. They were just real excited for us to be there. And there's Dr. Valadares talking, giving a talk about ethics. And then also, I got to speak for about an hour one day, and Abby, who's here, also was there with Dr. Valadares, and he spoke on using information technology in your studies and research. So that was new to them and really exciting. They showed us around. And then I had to throw this in there. And just so you know, Dr. Valadares is back here. When he came to Ghana, being the first American professor to speak here, got a building named after him. So if you want to shake his hand, feel free. I just wanted to show you a little bit of the culture and the food. These are some of the foods we would eat. This is fufu, probably one of the most common foods there. And it's like a sticky, starchy food that it's in groundnut soup. And you basically just, let me show you this. This is what, they don't use utensils too often. Once in a while they would be courteous and give you a spoon because they knew you were an American. But they say that this is their spoon is S-P-O-O-N. So that's what they would use to eat their fufu or their dirhu, or really any other food. And up here in the corner, actually I was going to get this dress made, and there were some guys sitting, and their common courtesy is just to say, you're invited, you're invited. So being invited, we sat down and ate their cassava and plantain with them. And that was a common thing anywhere you went. They would just invite you to just sit down and eat. This is also my favorite food. It looks very appetizing, but it is the banku and okra stew. And this is the same picture as eating it. But I had the opportunity to go with my friend Victoria to her house, and she was cooking banku one evening. And so we made groundnut soup, and they let me stir the banku, and I stirred it for about, maybe 2 minutes, and I could not stir it anymore. These women are very strong. And I just had some pictures of the children, just that were at the school or just so sweet and so cute. So we've had quite a few of them. And these down here, these are the uniforms that they wore at the school. And then the ones up here, when you see them not in uniform, those are generally the ones that are at the orphanage. So I got to spend a lot of time just like playing cards with them or eating dinner with them when I got back from the hospital. But a lot of days I would work 8 to 12 hours, so I'd be going from 8 in the morning till 8 to 10 at night some days. And so I would really see the kids, except for when they would come around and be like, "Can you watch a movie on your laptop?" Once they found that out, that was every night. But here's some more. And then they, on the Saturdays, the weekends, they would play around in the pool, and I would go swimming with them. And every day, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, I don't know what they're eating here, but they always eat rice. So, and it was really great, my name, Chelsea, to have there, because anytime I would go and tell someone my name, they would not forget it because of the Chelsea Football Club. And I think the Euro Cup went on while I was there, so that was, football is so big there, which it really isn't in the U.S., which is kind of a shame. But they just love football, and so they love my name as well. And these are just some funny pictures. This is Dennis, and he was one of the children who actually wanted to be a scientist. So it was kind of cool to talk to him about my medical experience and my scientist experience. And I actually got to give him a book, a medical little anatomy book on the left, and he was really excited about that. These are the kids. I was going to church with them that day. That's why they're all dressed in their nice shirts. And here's them all gathering around watching a movie. It was raining that night, so we had to go inside the volunteer house to watch a movie. But every night they would, after, I think I told them about 3 weeks before I was leaving that, oh, I have a laptop, I'm going to watch a movie on it tonight. And they, every night after that, they would come to my room and like, can we watch Avatar tonight? Can we watch a movie? This is my concluding slide, but I just wanted to show you the picture of the whole heads of department. These are all the people in the lab that I worked under, the pharmacy, the wards, and to my left in this picture is Dr. Asian and his wife, and then to the right is Richard, who I spent a lot of my time with, and they taught me a lot of the stuff that I know. They would be really great about if I was working in the ward or doing something and there was going to be a surgery or they were going to do something that I hadn't seen before. They would say, "Go call Chelsea," and they would run and get me. And then they would be like, "Oh, it's okay. You don't have to do what you're doing. Let the nurse do that." They would bring me over to where they were and let me be in the new experience. And I just wanted to tell this story about my last day there. I said I was the first American, first white person at the hospital. The last day there, Richard came and got me. I was working, and it was about probably 4 o'clock, so it's not at all time for me to leave yet. And he was like, "There's some people here that want you to come see them." I said, "Oh, just tell them I'm busy. I don't want to waste my time right now. It's my last day." Because I thought it was probably just some guy that I met on the Trotro and got my number, or told him that I was working at Mount Sinai, because they would come by. If you told them you worked at Mount Sinai, they would come by. So I said, "Oh, don't worry about it. No, please just let me work." And he said, no, come on. So I followed him, and he took me up to the administrator's office, which is the doctor and his wife, and that all the heads of departments were sitting up there when I got up there, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is not what I was thinking. What's going on?" And they brought in meat pies and Malta, the drink, their famous drink, and a few other nice foods. They all sat down and we were just having a good time, and they said, okay, Mrs. Asian said, okay, we're going to go around now, and everyone's going to say something that they're going to miss about Chelsea, or why they're glad that she was here. So they literally each spent about 10 or 15 minutes just telling me how great it was to have me, and how they were going to miss me when I was gone, how I'd really been an asset to their healthcare team, just being an extra hand. And Mrs. Asian, who was really intimidating to me the whole time, she was just really confident and really loud, and really a lot of fun, but I was intimidated by her. She said that the first day that I came, or like when Mr. Boateng was trying to set stuff up, she said, I didn't want to have anything to do with an American being here. I had had bad experiences before with European and American medical students. But she said, but you know what? Now that you've been here, you've changed my perspective on American students, and she said, we want to have more of your students come over here. So I just thought that was really neat to be able to set up that relationship, and just have them now just be open to having students come. And I think that just brings a great opportunity for the students that are going there next year, or in years to come. So I just thought that was a cool story. Really cool, really neat people, really community driven, and really like loving. They just brought me in as their family. And I learned a lot.